Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and it's good to follow the gentlelady from the district because I was here in '95 when we took over the district, put in a control board. At that time, if you think Flint is bad, the district, they had hundreds of bodies of indigents that were stacked like cord they couldn't bury. The kids were getting from a vendor only chicken and rice that were in the district's care. There were 60,000 people employed by the district. We had a crack-smoking mayor. We had about $500 million running about a $500 million deficit. You don't have the federal government in Flint to take that up, so Flint isn't being picked on. I remember when you had to boil the water. I remember when what the gentlelady said. The water was not safe to drink in this building. They taped the water fountains up. They told people to boil the water. Now, in government, we have a fundamental responsibility, and that is this glass of water. That's our responsibility to make sure that water is pure and drinkable. You know, just for members' information, we call the superintendent's office to see if this is safe. They would not release to me, a member of Congress, the tests here in the district. And I'd ask unanimous consent that the committee just ask the superintendent to give us the information from the last 15 or 20 years, because I think we have a right to know if it's safe here in the nation's capital. But I'm telling you, you're not being picked on alone. But when you look at this, and the district was taken over by a control board, there wasn't even a local vote. Representative Kildee said there was no local decision. Yeah, there was a 7-1 vote, as I understand, to let this happen. There's really nothing wrong with that water from the Flint River, was there, Mr. Edwards? If it was properly treated.
If the minimum...
And the water tested when it came out of the plant was fine. What happened was that and the gentleman from Michigan said, for lack of $80 to $100 a day, that's what you said, which is about, let me do the math, it's about $30,000 a year. You know, it wasn't $50 million we heard cited being cut or something. For that much money, we poisoned the kids in Flint, didn't we? That's what we did. And we have, and she was properly termed a citizen and a hero. She is a citizen hero. She stepped up, Ms. Walters. Thank God that you stepped up and you persisted. And look at the time frame, though. They had the opportunity to act, to put the phosphate in to control the degradation of the pipes. That wasn't done. She alerted them, and that was back in, when did you do that, in what month? First?
That was in March of 2015.
In 2015, and it went on and on. And
Do you know why the phosphates were not added?
Why?
Because they did not have the equipment at the treatment plant to add the phosphates.
But again, it's a simple solution that should have been in place. And the state or the federal government, and you got blown off by the locals, right?
Yes, sir.
You got blown off by the state, right?
Yes, sir.
So you went to the federal government, and they failed you, right?
Everybody but Mr. Del Toro, sir.
Yes, exactly. And this is just unacceptable. We have a responsibility that these kids, now, everybody's talked about blame and accountability, and we should hold these people accountable. Now we got the kids who've drunk this water and are bathed in this water. Every kid in that community should be tested. And then if there's residual results, don't you think that someone should be responsible? It should be the state government, the federal government, and the local government should be responsible to make certain those kids now and in the future are, well, first we need to test them. Is that underway, Mr. Craig?
Yes, sir. There's testing available.
And then we should set aside a fund or whatever, because we should make certain that these kids are taken care of. And then, Mr. Edwards said, this is going on not just in Flint, it's going on in D.C., it's going on in Durham. We heard testimony today, and it needs to stop, and we need to make certain the system works. Right, Mr. Edwards?
That's correct.
right, Mr. Kidd?
Yes, sir.
And you're new on the block.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Citizen Hero. We appreciate what you did. Thank you.
Thank you.